Hey everyone, I am Kathy from Kathy Creates, where I try to inspire you to create. Come on into my craft room. Let me get us pulled up over here, and we will get this show on the road here. So when you get here, say hello. Let me know you're here. I'm not showing live down here. There we go. Okay, we are in business. Let me make sure my volume is off. Okay, volume is off. So when you get here, say hello. Let me know how your day's been, how's your weather, all the things. And we will get going here. I gotta get this turned. This is not in the right spot. There we go. Okay. All right. So, hello, Lee. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. So what we're going to do tonight, I got inspired. I went to a store in my area that Tracy Campbell would absolutely love. And I got to say, I love it as well. They have a lot of, what's the word I want to use? Kind of vintagey, primitive-y type decor. And they had some boxes that they had made out of reclaimed wood. And they had put a like one of the tin tiles, like ceiling tiles, the old antique tin tiles on the front of the box. And then they had different things in them. So I'm kind of where I'm going with this. That's where I got inspired to do. I bought this box at Hobby Lobby. It was like $6. It was in the wedding section. Not really sure what it was going to be used for at a wedding, but okay. It's just perfect little white box. Now, so what I did is I took one of the Dollar Tree little tiles, and I already cut this to fit on one of the sides. Then, if you remember, when I did my little hanger here, this bottom piece has this trim. Let me hold it up real close so you can see the detail on it, that I had gotten at at Home Depot. And because I don't like how these look when they're put on and there's no edging on it, because it's, you know, it's got this raised detail and I think it just looks a little silly. So I mitered some little pieces to go around the top and the bottom for that. Okay, so that's going to be the front. Here's the cool part. That's all going to be really cool. That's the front. But look what the back and sides are going to be. We're going to paint the other side. I did 2 of them already. We're going to paint the third side buffalo plaid. I'm going to show you how to paint buffalo plaid. It's very easy. I will admit I hadn't done it in a while, so I had to go back and watch one of my previous videos because I have a tutorial on how to paint buffalo plaid. So we're going to go ahead and do that first. Hello, everyone. Let's see. Yeah, this side. Okay. So to start, what I'm going to do, and especially with this box, because I want to continue the pattern, as you can see, I continued it all the way around, and it turned out really cool. So we're going to do the same thing to this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your painter's tape. Your painter's tape is your guide. You don't have to measure a thing. You're just going to use your tape. Okay, and I'm making sure that it lines up. I'll hold this up, and we're going to press that down really well right on the edge, because we want to make sure there's no bleed through. Okay, and as you can see, I'm lining that up so it's perfectly lined up with that line. Okay, then I'm going to take a small piece, and it's going to be my spacer piece. Hello, everyone. Hello, Lynn. When you get here, make sure you're saying hello so you get a chance for Happy Mail, which I am delinquent on, and I know that. And I was going to do it tonight at the end of my live, but I forgot to put them in the wheel. So in the next day or 2, I promise I will do it. Okay, so we're just putting that right on top of that other tape, lining it up. That's going to be our spacer. And then we're going to put this right there, and we're going to make sure we're lined up over here as well. And then we're going to peel this guy up because it was a little overlapped. That is okay. Okay, so we're making sure that our edges is specifically, we don't care so much about the middle, but our edges need to be very stuck so we don't have the bleed. Okay. Now we're going to do this side, or the next one. And we're lining that up, and then we're checking here to make sure we're good, and we are good. So we're going to save our spacer. We're going to use it again. Okay, so we've got that on there good. Now, where the white is, we're going to paint gray. Okay? Now, this box was already painted white, so whatever you want your base color to be, you would paint your surface that first, but since it was already white, no point of repainting it. Hello, Shannon from Rosebrook Cottage. If you see any of my fellow crafty sisters on here, feel free to give them a follow. And by all means, come on your business page. I do not mind at all. Okay. So we are going to just paint this. And honestly, my favorite color to paint the gray is this apple barrel paint. I just think it turns out the most perfect, and it's pewter gray is the color. I love painting my buffalo plaid with this. I think it's the right shade of gray. I am going to go this way. Not that it matters. I don't really need to worry about getting it on the bottom because, you know, you're not going to see the bottom. But okay. So that's done. So we're going to dry that real quick. Hello, Lori with Lavender and Lace with Lori. So we're going to dry this real fast. I'm looking at the tag on the bottom, and remember when I said I don't know what you'd use this for? It just says container. So I guess whatever little tchotchkes you want to put in it. Well, I have a plan for it, so. Hey, Cynthia. Welcome, welcome. So I think this is going to be really cute, because we're going to put some floral in this. I've got a little bunny head to put in it. It's going to have some Easter, but what I like about this is it's going to be interchangeable for the seasons. And I love that. Okay, so we're going to peel this off, and we just are going to have these nice little, we're going to hold on to these though, because we're going to need them again. So we're going to just stick them on my table here. That one's still got a little bit of wet paint, but that's okay. Let's hit this one more time with the dryer just to make sure we're good and dry. And Mom is drawing names for Happy Mail, so make sure you are commenting. And I promise I will be doing one here in the next day or two. Might even do it tonight if I get to it in time. Okay, so let's see. So we need to start on this side. For me to continue this pattern, is that right? Let me think about this for a second. I need this to be the row. So I need a spacer right here. No, I need that to be painted. Yeah, so I need a spacer. Okay, I got confused here trying to carry my pattern around to the side. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I was like, wait, but you're covering it up and we want that painted. But no, I'm not covering that up because we're going to peel that spacer off. So it will be gray. Oops, I just lost a teeny piece of my tape. Hi, Darla. Okay, pressing that down really good. We're going to put our spacer down. Hi, Patty. We have had beautiful weather here today. It started out a little cold. It was in the 30s when I got up this morning, but it's like 65 now. Well, I don't know if it still is. 62, yeah. It has been beautiful. All right, so we're going to have just a little part over here. We're going to cover that little side right there. Okay, so we are done with our spacer now. We're going to make sure that's down well. Now, we're going to go back and paint these stripes with that same gray. Okay? And I'll show you what it looks like. Because it doesn't necessarily need to be, and actually I think it looks better if you don't put this coat on really heavy, because then you can see your the plaid through it. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. And that's exactly how it should look. Now we're going to dry that. Same in Monroe for Patty. Hello, Mary Snyder. I'm going to get this dry. I think we're good. A little paint on the tape, but that won't hurt anything. Now, remember how I said save those stripes? So we're going to put this down in the exact same spot. And Teddy just came in. Hi, buddy. And we're going to put it back in the same spot. And you can see those lines, because remember how I said that paint's not real thick? So we're going to cover those lines right where our tape was. And we're going to press it down really hard again. And then we're going to put this one right back. And we really want to make sure right in those spots, because I'm going to hold this up. We're going to have a little checkerboard. And we want to make sure that it's pushed down really hard right there. And now I may have a little paint that comes up. I'm not sure. And that's okay if I do, because you guys know I like the vintagey thing. If you're not a fan of that, you would need to make sure this is good and dry. I'm going to get paint all over me. Let's dry that first. There's paint right on that edge of that tape. Hey, Daddy. You stand here? Yeah, you did. So I can press that tape down. It's still going to get all over me. Oh, well. We're just going to live with it. I want to make sure that tape is secure. Okay, so I got gray paint all over me. All right, we're done with the gray, so we're going to stick that in the water. We're going to do our black now. Let me grab a brush. Let's see, let's use this one. Now, let me hold this up before I do it, except I'm going to get gray all over everything. So let's do it with this hand. You can see we have a little checkerboard now. So all the inside squares, so like all of these right here and right here, we're going to paint those black. Okay. And then when we peel our tape off, it'll be magic and we will have buffalo plaid. It looks a little wonky when you're painting it, but once you get it done, it's pretty cool. Just this one last one right here. Now you want to make sure you get your edges of your lines really well, because if not, you're going to have a kind of a wonky buffalo plaid. It's not going to be real crisp. Okay. So give that a dry. This is super easy. I will admit, like I said, I had to go back and watch my video because I hadn't done it in a long time. And I knew you left one of the tapes on, but I couldn't remember which step you left the tape on. So the first step, you take it off. The second step, you leave it. Okay. So that's what we have. It looks a little wonky. Now here comes the magic. You're going to see buffalo plaid appear right before your eyes. I got a little bleed there, but that's okay. There. And there we have it. There's our buffalo plaid, and it just goes all the way around. The pattern stayed perfectly lined up. Okay. So I am going to put a napkin down to try not to scratch this to work on the top now. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and put it down first and then paint it because I think it will work better. I am going to wipe my hands off though because I don't want to get this all gray and black. Thanks, Leah. Hey, Cheryl. How you doing, my friend? Got paint all over me. Okay, so I'm going to use some wood glue and I'm going to use hot glue. Now I'm going to use the hot glue sparingly because the hot glue will melt this tile, okay? This is what I cut. It's one of the Hobby Lobby tiles and I'm going to try to center it. I did cut it just slightly smaller than the box because I did not want it to, you know, be off the edges. Thank you guys. Thank you, Patty. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just sporadically put, if I can get any out, this is just some wood glue, so it should hold a little better. If I can get a better hole in there, it would work better. The hole's plugged up. I don't know that that did much. Oh, yes, it did. Much better. So I'm just going to put some drops here and there. And then we're going to very carefully do a few drops of hot glue to give us our right now hold. Okay. So let's see. Let's put a drop right there. We're going to do one up here, 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 and here. Maybe a little here. Okay. That's all I'm doing with the hot glue. I'm not doing much. Careful. Let's bring this back. Press it down. We're going to put a flower arrangement in it with a bunny head, and I've got some little Easter eggs, and I've got some carrots. I'm not sure what all we're going to put in. We're going to see what we got. Okay, so I think we're down pretty good. So that's good. So now we're going to do the same thing. Now, when I did this, I didn't do this on like a saw, so I did this by hand. I mitered my corners. And I just used the little the Dollar Tree little nippers, and it worked out pretty well. So what I ended up doing though was I labeled them on the bottom so I knew which piece went where, because you know, when you do this by hand, it's not exact. So if you get it to fit, you got to put it back in the same order. So I put them on here. So we're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to put some wood glue, and then we're going to put some hot glue. The wood glue will give us our more permanent hold. The hot glue will give us the right now hold. So this one, good. And we're going to line this one right up with the bottom. And we're going to press and hold for a minute. You've not used them yet? Oh, I love them. I don't use them a ton, but I have used them quite a bit. Okay, I think we're pretty good. I've got a little excess that oozed out of the bottom. of the hot glue. Do I have any? Nope, top looks pretty good. All right, so then I have the left side. So that one will go like so. Let's make sure our top line's up right. Yes, okay. All right, I think we're gonna do this a little different. We're gonna go like every other dot between the two different glues. I think that might be a little better. And I think this will be easier to paint when it's all put together than to try to do them separate and then not mess them up and all the things. Okay, so we're just going to hold that down for a minute to make sure it's good and stuck. And I think it is. Okay, now we're going to do the same with this guy. Let's make sure we're good. Yep, I think that's going to be about perfect. Good, good, good. Now, I could have had Bob take this out to the garage, use an actual miter saw, and actually do it, you know, professionally and perfectly, but it's a craft. It doesn't need that. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this guy. Hold this down. That glue dry. And as soon as I get that top piece on, I'll hold this up so you can see. I think this is going to be great because I'm going to be able to change out the decor in the box per season. Turn this around so I can get at it a little better. That looks pretty good. My miters aren't too bad. They're not perfect, but they are not bad. Not bad for using nippers and not a saw. Ooh, just enough glue on that glue stick to finish this. I have to get another one out to do the rest. Okay. Now, again, we're just going to press and hold. And while that's doing that, I'm going to get out another couple of glue sticks. We are finally feeling good. It has been the journey, man, let me tell you. My rib is feeling pretty good. It's not nearly as sore as it was. You know, like stretching or leaning like I just did would have been painful before, but it's finally, we're finally healing. Okay. So look how cool that's going to be when we get that painted. So we've got that, and then we have our buffalo plaid all the way around. Okay. So now let's get to painting this guy. All right. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. All right. I don't know why I just did that. I don't have paint on me. I will now because I'm getting ready to paint. Now, because this is plastic, I am going to use chalk paint to paint this. And this chalk paint is super thick and very crumbly on the top. So I might have to add, yeah, we're going to add some water to it. You're not supposed to put just tap water. You're supposed to use distilled, but use what you got on hand, right? And give it a good shake. See if that was enough. It's still super thick. I think we still need some more. Let me add a little bit more. I gave it like 5 good squirts this time. I'm getting paint all over me because I dropped some. Remember how I said I would need that in a minute? Yeah, look, I already got paint all over my hand. All right, this should be better now. Oh yes, that's much better. Okay. That should be enough. Close that up. I have it all over me already. A drop got on the lid and then it was all over from there. Oh, I got it on my ring. That's lovely. And I'm just spreading it. There's globs of paint on that. Which one do you love? This one? The Beat It? Yeah, that's a fun one. That's one of my new signs. It's on the website. I loved that one. I thought it was funny. It says, unless you have packages, food, or a search warrant, beat it. You know those days when you just don't want company? I gotcha. All right, so we are going to take this chalk paint and we are going to paint our tile, and then we're also going to paint the frame that we made for it. I'm trying to get my brush kind of under there because, you know, it is raised, so it's not flat. So I want to make sure that that gray is covered up. And then we'll go back and try to get rid of some brush strokes. Right now, my focus is to get the edges covered. Okay, I think we did that. Whenever you're painting plastic or metal or glass, chalk paint is going to be your best bet. It is going to cover so much better than acrylic paint. Let me see here. It's probably going to need 2 coats. We'll see. We might be able to get it in one if I do a thicker coat. It's actually looking pretty good right now. Top is looking good. This bottom needs some work. I don't like this brush. It's too soft. Like a little firmer brush. Probably going to need 2 coats, but you get the gist of where we're going with that. I do too, Lee. I just love funny signs. I think they're great. Okay, so now I'm going to take a smaller, firmer brush. Let's see, is this the size I want? Yeah, I think so. Because now I got to be careful. Now I only want to get the edges of this. I don't want to paint my buffalo plaid that we just did. I want this to be white. So we're going to be super careful. I can set this way for this side. Now this one I don't have to be as careful because it's the bottom, so we don't care about this. Again, I'm being careful because I do have buffalo plaid on this side. Okay, we got one more side to do. And this is the top that is white, so not a big deal. It's just those two sides with the buffalo plaid that we need to be careful. Okay, now we can go back and paint the top and the inside of these trim pieces. Yeah, that's going to need another coat on that tile. I can tell already. The wood is covering well though. Another funny one is a frog that says, "Hippity hoppity, get off my property." Well, that is cute. That is cute. I've got some pretty snarky ones lately. I have the Live, Laugh, Leave. And that one has actually been selling very well. And our, the succulent one, that one's been selling well. And the chicken one. Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, that's how it's looking. That tile is going to need more paint though. So let's go ahead and dry that. Now, you do need to be careful because you will melt your tile and you'll lose all of that design. So you want to do kind of quick little motions to get it dry. You don't want to hold your heat tool on it for too long in one spot. You want to keep moving it. I have melted them and it just goes flat. You lose your design. Thanks, Cynthia. Yeah, this definitely needs another coat. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. We almost have it dry. All right, that's how it's looking. It's looking a little like it needs more paint. So we're gonna do that, but I don't like this brush, and I think all my other ones are dirty. Well, let's use this one. This one's firmer. It's small enough, but it's firm. It'll give me a better coat. Oh, much better. Much better. That's perfect. I'm seeing a couple spots that I missed on the frame. We're going to go ahead and get those. Okay, I think we got that now. That looks good. Okay, I'm not sure if you're going to see that with the glare, but it looks much better. It's painted now. Okay, so I think we're good with the paint. We are done painting. Let me get this stuff out of the way. We're going to dry this real quick, and then we'll get going on the rest of this. Again, we're going to keep that moving. And it doesn't need to be perfectly dry. Well, it kind of does, because I might distress it a little. Thanks. I hope so. I think so. What I have in my head is going to be super cute. Now, can I execute it? We'll see. That's always the chore, right? Okay, so we're pretty well dry. I hope you guys can see that. There we go. You can see the detail of that tile. I think that's going to be really cool. All right, so let's move this out of the way and let's get going on our design. All right, so I have a whole bunch of stuff down here. So we're going to start with this. We're going to put our foam in first. And this will just give us something to put all this in. What did I use? I used something and it was so easy. Oh, it was a putty knife. That's what it was. I was like, I know I used something and it made it super easy to cut through these. All right, so let's see. If we go right there, I think that will be, yep, I think so. Perfect. Yeah, I thought that would be a little too high. So I think we're going to cut this one down this way. There we go. That's how high we want it. Because this way I don't have to use a ton of long stems on my things, on all the stuff I'm going to put in here. Okay, so let's do some glue down at the bottom just to hold our floral foam in place. And we're going to drop that guy down in there. Push him down in. And we're going to put some more up here, and we're going to stack this guy on there. And there we go. And then one thing I did not grab out, which let me grab it really quickly, my Spanish moss. That's the next thing we're going to put in it. Oh, thank you, Patty. You're so kind. This stuff makes such a mess, but I love how it looks, and it's going to cover up our base. Okay, so we're going to put this down in here like so. I don't think I'm going to glue that in. I think we're just going to lay that in there. And then if we want to take some out, we can. So we're going to leave that just like that. Okay. Let's clean up this mess a little bit that it makes. Okay. Kind of stuff in the excess because it wasn't quite square. Some kind of stuff in the excess down into, I shouldn't say it wasn't square. It's square. The floral foam didn't quite fill up the edges, so we're going to just poke it down in there. Okay? All right. Now, moving on. We are going to put these flowers from Hobby Lobby. They were $8.49, but get them when they're on sale. Because you know they're always 40% off every other week. So let me ask you this. Is everyone else as disgusted with Hobby Lobby as I am lately? They are really getting on my nerves. I don't know what mine's doing. They're like getting rid of paint. Like all their paint is almost empty, and they had a lot of it on sale. So I did buy a lot for my subscription box, but I'm just not thrilled about it. Let's see. Let's go about here. Just start poking these in. I'm going to leave a couple of these a little longer so we have some more height. just going to start poking them in. And I might put some trailing things in here as well. We'll see how this ends up looking, if it needs it. Trying to poke it through a leaf, that's not going to work so great. Again with the leaf. Okay. Now, since these are wired, I am going to kind of bend them around a little. Okay, so this is what we have so far. It's looking pretty. Love the buffalo plaid. I don't honestly know which side I like better. I really like the tile, but I really like that too. Well, that's great, because if I get bored with it one way or another, I can always change it up. That is always perfect. Oh my goodness, I have 4 minutes left. Okay, we need to move here. Okay, look how cute this little bunny is. And of course, you know, I'm going to change this out. We're getting rid of this pink bow, and we're going to put in, I think I want him kind of off to the side. I don't want him, can we get this to go in? My goodness, why is this not going in? Oh my goodness, this doesn't want to go in. There we go. And I'm going to poke him down. He needs to be cut. I don't know if these will cut that. He's too tall. Oh, it did. Okay. Don't know where that piece just went, but I want him like he's peeking out. Isn't that cute? I don't know if I like it on the side though. I think I want it more. Now that I got it in there, let's get around. There we go. We got him in. That's cute. Look at our little bunny guy poking out of there. Okay, now I've got some of these neutral eggs that I also got at Hobby Lobby. And I've got some skewers from Dollar Tree that we're going to use. So we're going to cut a few of these. Oh, goodness. And we're going to poke some of these in, and we're going to put a buffalo plaid bow on our little bunny. And we're just going to stick these in on these skewers. Do a few of them to show you, and then I'm going to have to get off here. I only have 2 minutes left. I'm going to put a few more of the eggs on there. But look how cute he is. Isn't that darling? I love this. All right, so we're going to do a couple longer ones. Let's go here. And then we can put them in the back so they're kind of sticking out a little. I mean, look at this. Look how cute he is. Okay, we're going to do one more. Let's see, let's do a light colored one. I don't know where I want it. let's do it back here because I don't know where I'm going to put these. So this might be on a table or something, and that way it's got something interesting all the way around. Okay, so my time is up. The Happy Mail drawing will be, now the Happy Mail drawing is actually not for tonight or last week's. It's for the previous ones. And I'm going to try to do it in the next day or two. Maybe even tonight. If I can get everything that I need to get done, then I'll do it tonight as well. So be watching. I will go live again with the post for the Happy Mail. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to do to this, I might distress this a little bit just with some of my distressing ink. And then I'm going to put a little buffalo plaid bow on my bunny, maybe up here on the ear so you can see it. But that is what I've got for you tonight. So we painted the buffalo plaid, we used the Dollar Tree tile, some trim, and then just some florals and this adorable little bunny head. And I got this at Hobby Lobby. And I just threw away the tag and I don't remember what it was. It wasn't very much. I want to say it was like $3 or $4. But I thought he was so cute, I had to get him. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. And as always, I will post a picture and probably a reel with him on there so you can get a close look at everything, okay? Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.